In today's video, I'd like to take a look at the list of trending stocks that we published in our video on September 23rd. This video was published on Thursday, and this included a list of stocks likely to trend on Friday, so the very next day, and this is what we call our nightly trending list setup. If you're unfamiliar with it, I'll leave some links in the description box that breaks that down some more, the entire setup, the rules, but you can also find more information on our stock volatility box page. I'll leave a link to this as well, but if you come to this page, scroll down right here, you'll find the nightly trending list, and this breaks down the setup in a little bit more detail. This contains 3 to 6 stocks. It's a list we send out manually to all of our stock members, and the list for Thursday had the following 6 stocks: ALKS, Cognizant, Marriott, Marathon Oil, Mosaic, and the XOP ETF. Now, out of this list of 6 stocks, there were 2 that actually triggered, met our rules, and gave us an entry. And those 2 were Mosaic along with Marriott. Mosaic was a much better trade in terms of giving us a nicer winner. Marriott was a nice trade. It gave us a nice winner, nothing too crazy, no home run or anything of that sort. But Mosaic right here gave us not only our long entry to try and play the trending move, but also gave us the exact fade level, so then try and play a short side move. So 2 trades there, reverse. I think that's what makes it a nicer opportunity. But we'll take a look at both of these in today's video, and then I'll quickly cycle through the other 4 stocks as well, so you have an idea of what a setup in which the rules were not met looks like as well. For all of our stock volatility box members, as a reminder, you can generate these same levels off of the dashboard, one click. You'll find that towards the end of this video right here, where this gives you a list of all of the levels that we were looking at as our breakout prices for the setup to actually prove itself. All right, so let's get started first with Mosaic. Now, Mosaic, we were looking for a break above our clouds, and this had to happen by 6:45 a.m. Pacific. So 15 minutes after the market opened, we wanted the buyers to come right back in, take control of price action here, and let us know with the trigger price breaking above the clouds, which in this case was right around 35.29. If that happened by 6:45, the setup was triggered. This is a breakout trade on the long side. Now in Mosaic, that did happen. That actually happened 3 minutes into the market opening, 6:33 a.m. So the buyers really had control here. Now once we breached, we then had a pullback to our market pulse line. This is a variable moving average, a nice substitute for moving averages in general. And once we had that pullback, the rest is pretty much history. From there, Mosaic just bounced straight up and went right into our upper volatility box clouds, which you can see as this zone right here. So that was really the entire move that you had for the bullish side, which all started with this trigger point right here, where Mosaic had to prove that, hey, the buyers have control here. So this was the setup being met in terms of how the trending setup looked like. The max move was right around 3% to our target line, right around 2.1%, so let's call that 2%. And in terms of just our first target, our risk, right around 0.77%, which was hit fairly quickly here inside of Mosaic. So depending on if you were using stocks or options to try and play this move, in either case, you had a fairly nice payout very quickly as well. So a nice day trade there. Now, the setup occurred here where we had a nice opportunity for a reversal when price action breached the upper clouds, which then signaled to us that, hey, we're now in overbought territory. We're looking for some sort of reversal here. Let's try and see if our rules are met. So off of a 1-minute chart here, if I zoom in, that first breach happened right here. This is part 1 of our fade setup. I'll leave a link to this setup as well in the description box, but that's part 1. Once we have our volatility boxes being breached, we're looking for an edge signal confirmation, letting us know this move is truly overextended. That did happen right here with the red arrow. We had an opportunity to enter inside of our clouds, or better in this case, and that short opportunity led to a really nice reversal inside of Mosaic. To give you an idea of what that looked like from our high to low, right around a 2% move to the bottom. Before then, price action continued to reverse just a little bit, came back to the target line, fell one more time, and finally closed at 35.86. So inside of Mosaic, we had first our long entry triggered with our breakout setup early in the morning, and then our short entry triggered when we hit the upper edge of the price volatility boxes right around 7:45 a.m. Pacific, so an hour after that trade was triggered. So that's Mosaic. Now if we move on next to Marriott, Marriott here gives you a slightly different idea of a setup in which price action didn't really run, but it did grind up higher in the way we would expect. The level we were looking to be broken inside of Marriott was right near that 150.65 zone. That level was also breached 3 minutes after the market opened, 6:33, so well before that 6:45 mark. Inside of Marriott, the max move that we ended up making was a bit smaller, right around 1.39%. And in terms of the actual risk that we had, our first target, right around 0.87%. So in both cases, hit T1, continued to grind up a little bit higher above T1, but nothing as substantial as Mosaic, which gave us both a long entry, a slam into our upper volatility boxes, and then a short entry as well. So those were the two trades that actually triggered, met our rules, and gave us an entry. Now the other stocks that we had, which I'll cycle through, we had ALKS. If I load that in, ALKS, we didn't have that breach happen until 7 o'clock Pacific. So after that 6:45 a.m. mark, rules are not met. This wasn't a setup that we were interested in taking. Next up, we had Cognizant Technologies. Cognizant, very similar to the previous ticker as well. That breach did not come till 6:57 a.m. Pacific. So again, after the 6:45 a.m. mark was a setup that we skipped as well. Next up, we had Marathon Oil. Marathon Oil, we didn't see that breach till well into the day, 9:51 a.m., the lunchtime hour in the East Coast. So again, setup rules not met, a setup that we skipped. And then finally, we had the XOP ETF, where it was this wick that finally breached, but that came at 7:09 a.m. Pacific. So again, not one that met our rules with having the buyers take control before 6:45 a.m., letting us know that, hey, they expect the stock to continue running up higher. So hopefully this gives you an idea of what to expect from our trending list. Again, this is a list sent out to all Stock Volatility Box members Monday through Thursday of every week in which the market's open. And it contains a list of stocks that we expect to be trending for the next day based off of both daily and 1-minute time frame charts and the volatility we experienced in those markets for that particular day. All right, hope this video was helpful. Take care, everyone. Good luck trading and have a great week ahead.